Hey, and welcome to episode 1 of the Simply Fitness podcast. I'm John Stein, and on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about fitness and nutrition as a skill. I'll be giving you some basic foundational actions to take with fitness and nutrition to help build a strong foundation. Make sure to leave a review for the podcast and let me know what you think. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. Hey guys, how's it going today? Hope you're having an amazing day and welcome to the Simply Fitness podcast. So today, what I want to be talking about is fitness and nutrition as a skill. So when a lot of people start with their fitness or their nutrition, they think it comes right away. A lot of people jump to like the most advanced forms of fitness, nutrition. So go straight to CrossFit, go straight to keto, go straight to whatever fad diet or fitness program is happening. A lot of these aren't initially designed for beginners. What happens is that we want to go to this because they look shiny, but they're really designed for us to fail at them because they are advanced. They don't really help us build a foundation for fitness and nutrition that helps us sustain them long term. So we end up quitting, and then we go to the next one and the next one, and the cycle continues on and on. So we keep giving the industry money time and time again. So we keep investing in it and keep giving them money, but we really end up nowhere different. We end up with less money in our pockets and less time and with no results. So when we start thinking about nutrition and fitness as a skill, that helps you start thinking about it in a way that you got to start with the foundation. You have to start from the beginning with the basics. As well as like any skill, so whether it's learning to play soccer or learning the guitar or doing cooking, anything, you have to be patient. You aren't going to, pick up a soccer ball one day and then tomorrow be Cristiano Ronaldo. That doesn't happen. We wish it would. All of us wish that we could just take this magic pill and have the instant results and be the absolute best we can be right then and there. But that doesn't happen. It comes long term. It takes a lot of time and effort and consistency to master anything. Nutrition and fitness is exactly that. It doesn't happen right away, but it can happen. But like every skill, you have to learn the basics. So what exactly are the basics when it comes to fitness and nutrition? So let's break down each of these categories separately. So first, let's start talking about fitness. Simply put, the basic behind fitness is to get moving. So you have to find ways to get yourself moving. And that could be as simple as just going for more walks. So if you take 5-10 minutes out of each day and go for a walk, boom, you're already moving yourself ahead of where you were initially. Moving more advanced, going, for hikes on the weekends, going, taking the stairs every once in a while, doing workouts at home, 5-10 minutes, even moving up to going to the gym, doing resistance training, group fitness classes, whatever it may be for you. It all starts with getting moving and doing that consistently. The less time you can spend sitting down, the more time you can spend moving, the more you're going to progress with any fitness goal. And that's the basis behind every fitness goal, is about getting moving. So whether it's weight loss, muscle building, whatever it may be, you have to move, you have to exercise. The second thing, basic behind fitness, which I 100% believe is finding activities that you enjoy. So, yes, resistance training is going to be the best way to build muscle. Yes, doing some, low intensity, steady state cardio is going to be the best way to aerobically, increase, make you healthier. But you got to find activities that you enjoy. Some people don't always enjoy lifting weights. Some people don't enjoy walking. Some people like biking. For me, I love to rock climb. I rock climb pretty regularly. It's something that I love. You have to find what you love to do. Finding an activity that you love to do is going to keep you, first of all, happy. That's what life's all about, is being happy and finding happiness. So find activities that you enjoy doing. They might not be 100% the best way to get to your goal, but if you can consistently do them, that is going to be the best way to get to your goal. So find the activity, try different things, go to group fitness classes, try different physical activities, hiking, biking, kayaking, rock climbing, Zumba, kickboxing, whatever it may be, mixed martial arts. There are a million different ways to get active. Try different ones out. Have fun with it, enjoy it, and be open-minded to experiencing different things. Sometimes it might not be the first thing that you try that's going to be your thing, and that's perfectly okay. Try it. Go talk to different friends. What do they do? Find other people to go with. Find different clubs, different gyms, things like that. Try things out. It takes time to really find sometimes what exactly is your thing. Rock climbing took me a while to find, and that's perfectly okay. And I still try new things all the time. Sometimes I play tennis with some people. Sometimes I go for walks regularly. I go to the gym. You can do tons of different things, and even once you find your thing, try new things, because it's always be open to finding ways to get active and to get moving. So diving more specifically into strength training, because that's where a lot of people end up, especially for a fat loss goal, muscle building goal, muscle definition goals, strength training is going to be very important. It's going to be kind of hard to maintain fat loss, almost impossible to build muscle without strength training. So building a foundation there. Again, a lot of people go straight into CrossFit, go straight into, doing all these crazy YouTube videos and Instagram, popular movements, things like that are way too complex. And if you don't have a foundation for movement, you're going to get yourself hurt and probably end up stop strength training, and it could take you months to heal, or maybe even quit altogether and never go back to it, which would be the worst thing you can do, because I want to see you moving, you want to get stronger, you want to feel better. So when it comes to strength training, what are the foundations you want to focus on first? First, and probably the most important thing you can do, is technique. There's always ways to improve your technique, especially in a beginner. This is what you should be focused on. So with the big compound movements, squats, deadlifts, bench press, rows, overhead press, focus in on the movements and on that technique for those movements. Find where your weaknesses are and look to improve those weaknesses within your technique. Are your hips tight? Do you have good mobility in your back? How about shoulders? All these different areas. Focus in on the technique. A lot of people right away, the first thing they do is they just try to put as much weight on the barbell or dumbbells as they can, but they don't really focus in on the technique to control that weight. And usually what that leads to is injury. So focus in on that technique, because that technique is going to stay with you throughout your whole journey. So once you learn it, you're going to keep with it and it's going to stick with you. So that's why technique is going to be the most important thing. The second thing is building strength. So whether your goal is fat loss, muscle definition, muscle gain, building up your strength at the beginning is going to be crucial. So if you're just starting off with strength training, those newbie gains are going to be huge. So you want to make sure that you're progressing with the weight accordingly. The movements should be difficult. If you're sticking to the same weight for weeks, especially at the beginning of your journey, you should probably look to increase your reps or your weight a little bit. Don't be afraid to push the weight a little bit. If it does feel too difficult and your technique's not there yet, fine, scale it back. But if you're doing the same weight week in and week out, time to increase the weight. You got to push yourself. There is a pretty large subsection of people that just don't push themselves enough in the gym. They've learned the technique, they have great form, but then they stop seeing progress because they're either afraid to, or they think they're doing enough. Don't be afraid to put a little bit of extra weight on the bar. Don't be afraid to do an extra rep, an extra set. Find ways to, there are more than just one ways to help build strength. That doesn't just include putting more weight on the bar. So look to add weight to the bar, look to increase reps and weights to help build that strength. Because again, strength is going to stick with you throughout your journey. There might be times where that strength might dial down a little bit. If you're in a fat loss phase, as you lose weight, your strength might diminish a little bit, but that's okay. It's towards your goals. But building that strength is going to help you progress in those goals. It's going to help speed up fat loss. It's going to help speed up muscle gain, and it's going to help build muscle definition. So make sure you are building that strength up. So when it comes to fitness, get moving and start finding activities that you enjoy. Those are the two foundational focuses for fitness. As for strength training, focus in on technique and building that strength. So now that we kind of looked at fitness, now let's look at nutrition. So nutrition, as you've probably heard tons of times on Instagram, other podcasts, things like that, that is probably the most important thing when it comes to weight loss, getting healthy, and building any fitness goal, really. But where do you start? There are so many different avenues, and a lot of people jump right into a diet plan, which is great. They provide a lot of details and they're very specific. But what most of these plans are, there's a few foundational basic things that they are, almost all of them look at. So one of these focuses is increasing a couple different food groups. First, veggies, super important. They're filled with all key vitamins, minerals, nutrients that you need to help just feel better. Second one, fruit. Again, filled with a lot of nutrients that your body needs to help keep moving forward, as well as it helps curb some of those sweet tooths, because fruit does have sugar in it, so it could help curb some cravings for some other foods that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Maybe you should be limiting in your diet. Another important nutrients that a lot of people don't really think about increasing or looking at, especially in the beginning, is fiber. Fiber is so important for your body. It's just going to help make you feel so much better, and could potentially help a lot of digestional issues that you might be having. So focusing in on foods that increase it. So oats, berries, avocado, chia seeds, Nuts like almonds all have a good amount of fiber in them. So incorporating these foods into your daily diet are going to help you feel better. It's also going to help you stay fuller, and it's going to help your digestive system a lot. So if you're having a lot of digestive issues, that could definitely help you there. As well as water, so increasing your water intake. A lot of people don't get enough water. Water is vitally important for your body to function correctly. So if you're not getting enough water, your body's not going to be functioning better. If you're thirsty already, you're already behind in your water. So making sure that you intake water on a regular basis. So we've talked about foods that you should be increasing and monitoring. That is probably the best place to start. I think starting with increasing certain foods is a better place to be than looking to decrease foods and being restrictive. Being too restrictive in the beginning can lead you to binges, things like that, an unhealthy relationship with food. Being too restrictive also leads to a breaking point, like a screw it point, where you just kind of give up and you just go right back to where you were at the beginning. Happens to a lot of people. It's okay. It's happened to me plenty of times. But that's why that's why you should focus in on looking to increase specific foods, veggies, fruits, fiber, water at the beginning, because it's easy to look at food, increasing food than decreasing. So on that note, but what are some foods that maybe you should be limiting? And big category here is processed foods. So foods coming from processed sources. So your typical junk food, chips, baked goods, ice cream, all fast food, things like that. Those are mostly calorie dense foods that don't provide you too much nutrients, provide you a lot of fat, a lot of carbs, not much protein, not much extra nutrients. They're very stripped of that stuff. So that's why you should be looking to limit them. What I'm not saying is you don't have to cut them out completely. But what you should be doing is looking to increase those foods I talked about before, veggies, fruits, fiber, water, and looking to limit some of those other extra sources of processed foods. That aligns with kind of my next point, which is that you should also look to incorporate foods that you love while also trying to incorporate new ones. And that's kind of my building philosophy when it comes to nutrition. Because if you feel that your diet is still filled with the foods you love, so for me, that's pizza, burgers, fries, while also incorporating foods that are good for me, so veggies, fruit, fiber, coffee, water, things like that. It makes you more likely to stick with that diet because you feel that it's working with you and not working against you. So you're still happy about it because you're like, awesome, I can still have a burger. I can still have, that ice cream, still go out with my family, enjoy a good dinner at a restaurant, or enjoy, that ice cream sundae, with my family and with my kids. That's amazing. But I'm also being healthy and improving myself, improving my body, feeling good at the same time. So that's kind of where you should look to start with. Start by trying new foods. I think sometimes jumping right into the deep end for a lot of people is, before they can swim, is kind of where a lot of people fail at their nutrition and their fitness, and they give up because they try to incorporate all this change tomorrow when it can take weeks, months to really build up and learn how to incorporate that stuff. So look to incorporate some of these foods in. So a great way to do this is create a little goal for yourself. So whether it be look to have one big salad every day, looking to maybe track your calories, track your fiber each and every day to try to increase your goal. So say you're tracking your fiber and you're getting 10 grams of fiber, okay? Maybe now look to increase it to 15 grams per day or 20 grams per day. And then going from there, focusing in on increasing those foods. So going from not eating a vegetable a day, which a lot of people do, to having one a day or having one salad a day. If you have one big salad every day, or at least a couple times a week, that is going to be at least 2 to 3 servings of vegetables. And that's going to put you at a better position than if you never had a salad at all throughout the week and we're just kind of guessing around. So just a little recap for the basics on nutrition. So look to focus in on incorporating foods that you love while trying new ones. So focusing in on increasing veggies, increasing fruit, increasing fiber, and increasing water while limiting processed foods. So now that we've kind of gone over the basics of both fitness and nutrition, it's key to remember that this takes time, that this will not happen overnight, that it will take weeks, months, maybe even years to fully master it. I've been doing this for a long time and I still have not mastered every aspect of my own diet, of nutrition, of fitness. It takes time and there's always ways to improve, but being in the mindset that you are looking to improve, that you are looking to get better, is very powerful, as well as being patient. If you are patient, it will come. Trust me, results will come by following through and being consistent with these actions. So look to find 1 to 2 actions and focus in on those. You try not to focus on 10 different things. If you've tried to focus on 10 different things before, it doesn't work. Look to pick 1 to 2 things, maybe one thing from fitness and one thing from nutrition, and focus in on those. Once they become habits and you become consistent with those, then look to, maybe add another one for fitness and another one for nutrition. And then build up over time. Those things build up. Think about building a house. Brick by brick, you build a house and eventually you have the whole house. But if it all starts with laying that first brick. If you don't lay that first brick, you're never going to have that house. So look to build it up over time. So that's the first episode of the Simply Fitness podcast. Guys, thank you for listening. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. If you like this podcast, be sure to leave a review below. If there's something that you think I can improve on, also leave a review below and let me know. If you guys have any questions about anything, my Instagram, my YouTube, my email is all below in the descriptions. And please feel free to contact me. I will answer any and all questions that you may have. And maybe I'll answer it on another podcast. So again, leave a review. Hope you guys have a great day. And I'll talk to you guys next time.